Alright guys, another Patreon request, and this one comes from Bill McLaughlin, who asked me to do a Ed, and Eddy Ghoul School crossover. So yeah, as always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon. Guys, hit the 3rd tier. That'll allow you access to all the videos over on YouTube. I had just done, as of this recording, my review of... I have just done my review of episodes 7 and 8 of Has Been Hotel, and you can check out all the episode reviews there. That's also where the movie... You can do movie... You can check out my movie reviews, polls, all that good stuff. So anyway, so let's get started with the video. So our story begins in the with the Eds out just wandering the woods because Eddy can't think of a good scam. Like, he literally cannot think for the life of him a good scam today. Like, he's having just another episode of writer's block, and he can't really think of anything that could be of any help to the Eds today. So Eddy's just kind of like, just kind of brooding on a log, and Double D's just like, oh, cheer up, Eddy. Writer's block writer's block happens to the best of us. In fact, it happened to you not too long ago. And he's like, oh, shut up, Double D. I know it happened to me already, and it about drove me crazy last time. So if you've gotten any ideas, Einstein, I'd be more than happy to listen to them. So, while Double D and Eddy are kind of busy arguing, Ed has been left to his own devices, which is never a good thing. And Ed has essentially Ed has taken off. And that's when Eddy and Ed realize Ed's gone. Uh-oh. And so Double D's like, we have to find him. Plus, they could probably help you with your writer's block. Shut up, sockhead. Find Lumpy. So the two of them go looking around for Ed, and they follow like a trail of just this horrible smell that only Ed has, and they eventually find their way to a cave, and they hear Ed's voice. He's like, hey guys, I found something. Excuse me. So they're like, what did you find, Lumpy? Come here, look. So they bravely go into the cave to look for Ed, and Ed has discovered he's found like an old chest, and Eddy instantly is like, a chest? It's probably full of money. No one would hide anything in here unless it was valuable. And Double D's like, please, Eddy, it was probably some wayward lost. It was probably some wayward lost luggage or something. And Eddy's like, really, sockhead, we're gonna do this? Who leaves a whole thing, a whole chest in some random cave, and it's full of clothes? And Ed goes, or it's a body. And Eddy's like, could be that too, but we don't know what it is until we open it. And that's when Double D's like, wait, what if it is a body, Eddy? We have to report to the police. He's like, not until we see if it's cash or not, sockhead. So the Eds managed to crack it open, the chest open. It flies open, and it's full of old clothes and old just a lot of old clothes and notebooks and whatever. But then there's a huge book they dig up, and it looks pretty nasty looking. And the Eds are looking at it, and it's Ed's like, it's a spell book. And of course Double D is like, a spell book, Ed, please. I do hate to tell you this, my friend, but magic sadly isn't real. There's no evidence to prove that magic is or ever was real. And Eddy's just like, Eddy's just like, for once, sockhead, could you just be fun? For once, can you do that? Can you just be fun? So yeah. So the Eds essentially are like, well, maybe it's valuable. Maybe some antique guy can take it. So they take the book with them. Now, while this is going on, all the way across the country, on the other side of the country, like deep in the swamps of New Orleans, because that's where I think that's supposed to be, Miss Grimwood and her girl, like she's in the midst of teaching her girls, and then she has like a vision, like she has like a moment where she just kind of like is like, she feels like this force overwhelm her, and she's like, my book, and the girls are like, wait, Miss Grimwood, what's going on? And like, someone's found my book. And they're like, book? And they're like, my old book of spells. And she basically explains that ages ago, there was a sorcerer I knew named Vincent Van Ghoul, and he was my teacher. And the book he had, the book he gave me was his spell book, and and I was meant to be like its guardian. But we ran into some witch hunters, and let's just say things didn't go all too well. So I had to abandon the book and leave it be. Like I had to like chuck the old book, and hide it. But I could never get back to it. I was unable to find where I had lost it. But now I can sense that someone has gotten a hold of it. The last place I had it was in a place called Peach Creek. So I need you to go get my book, because if it falls in the wrong hands, it could lead to some seriously bad things. So Sabella's like, yeah, we'll go, Miss Grimwood. We'll go in your place. And yeah, so they go to Peach Creek with matches in tow. So, but yeah, Grimwood does warn them, hey, you're going into a place full of humans, be careful. It's a place, you're going into a world with humans, and they still hate and fear us. So, try to be incognito as much as you can. And they're like, yeah, don't worry, Miss Grimwood, we'll get through this. So they go. Meanwhile, the Eds are like, we found, like, they take all the stuff to the antique store, and they just don't want anything, even the book. And to which Double D's like, well, this book, I hate it. Even though I think, Ed's whole thing of it being a spell book is ridiculous, I can't afford to throw away good literature, so I'll take it home with me. So, Double D takes the book home and is, like, looking through it. Like, Double D takes the book, he's taking the book, he's looking through it, and it's all, like, he's looking through all, like, the Latin and whatnot, and he's just like, huh. So he starts, like, trying to decipher it. And, of course, when you try to decipher an ancient book full of dark magic, things don't go well. So Ed, Double D, Ed with two D's, is busy, trying to figure out, like, and scribe all of the work that he's, all of this work that he's putting into trying to decipher the book. He's basically accidentally conjuring, like, dark spirits, and they go haywire in the cul-de-sac. It goes total Ghostbusters. Like, you've got spirits breaking into houses, like eating food, or resurrecting dead pets, or in Rolf's case, like they're possessing his livestock and driving them nuts. And Rolf goes out and sees his all of his livestock, like, turning into monsters, and he's like, no, fetch the sedative weapon, fetch the sedative of pain, aka the gun. The livestock has become rabid. So things aren't going great, and by this point, the Grimwood girls have come at the dead of night, and they're like, okay, we'll find the book, grab it, and go. No one has to know. And sure enough, when they're like, I think we're gonna have to rethink our strategy, because look. So the girls all see these spirits are running around the cul-de-sac, tearing shit up left and right. So the girls are like, ah, crap. All right. Sabella, Elsa, Fanty, you guys deal with these spirits. Tanis and Winnie and Matches will go get the book. Like, that's how they basically are like, crap. So that's what happens, is that the Grimwood, three of the strongest Grimwood girls have to, like, protect the kids of the cul-de-sac from these monsters. And meanwhile, Double D is none the wiser, because, like, the book's influence is making him, like, jot down more and more of these words to summon more spirits. By this point, Ed and Eddy are, like, in the midst of these dark spirits, and Ed is, like, thinking he's a ghostbuster and chasing the ghosts. They eventually get to Double D, and he's just like, Eddy, this is amazing. This can open up a world of new possibilities. We can do so much. I can do so much with this, and no one can stop me. And that's when Winnie and Tanis come in, and they're like, hey, we're going to need that book. And they're just like, there's a mummy and a werewolf and a dragon in our doorway. Things could not get worse. And they look outside, they see the spirits with Sabella, Fanty, and Elsa fighting them, and they're just like, so this is a new thing. But they're basically like, look, just give the book back and everything will be okay. And Ed's like, no. Double D's just like, no, I need this book. It's for the betterment of all mankind. And by this point, Ed's just like, hold it there, mister. No stupid book is going to take my friend. He grabs the book, and Ed, being the noodle arms that he is, he can't, like, hold on with Ed's grip and has to let go. And Ed is like, here, wayward monsters, take the book and go far from here. And they're like, and Eddie's like, Ed, you're acting like an old-timey wizard. I know when to deal with evil, Double D. It's in the movies. So they manage to reverse the spell. Dark spirits go away, and the Grimwood girls are just like, "Hey, thanks, be seeing ya," and they all leave. And by that point, Eddy's still like, "What the hell just happened? What is anything?" So they're all left. Everyone in the cul-de-sac is left befuddled while the Grimwood girls go home. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much the Ed and Eddy Ghoul School crossover. I'd like to thank Bill McLaughlin for the Patreon request and continued patronage. Like I said before, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.